Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And oh dear, Harry does seem to have got himself into a bit of a pickle with that lawyer of his, David Sherborne. And we read yesterday on the court case, the preliminary hearing anyway, with the Daily Mail, the blagging stuff, the evidence that was dragging William and Catherine into the court case for whatever reasons. We had a look at that yesterday. Not a good look for Harry. It's been all over the newspapers. Of course, there's been a much more serious story all over the front pages of the British press in the last 24 hours. But the Harry story, not a good look when you're dragging the brother and sister-in-law that you have spent the last however many years berating and blaming and accusing, dragging them into a court case and going back 20 odd years and the process. Not a good look at all. And lo and behold, a source close to Prince Harry came out almost instantaneously when this thing hit the headlines yesterday and said, no, it wasn't me, it was the lawyer. Denied all responsibility for the evidence, said he wasn't personally responsible for the evidence. He wasn't aware of the evidence that was presented at the hearing by David Sherborne. We're going to have a look at this because according to Neil Sean, not only did Harry, a source close to Harry, jump on it and send this statement out to the press, wasn't me, it was the lawyer. He also got in such a panic, my interpretation of what Neil Sean said, that he wrote what Neil Sean calls a begging letter to William and Catherine late last night, not apologizing, not taking accountability for the evidence and for what the lawyer had presented in court, but basically saying sorry for any inconvenience that this might have caused you. So a slight apology, shall we say, but no accountability. Sorry for the inconvenience, but it was all my lawyer's fault. It wasn't me. I never do anything wrong. It's always someone else's fault. And I think if we've learned anything about Harry over the past however many years, is that it's always someone else's fault. I've got the Shadowland Tarot on the tarot table for this one because when you're operating from your subconscious, from your shadow, and you're projecting out into the world, you don't take accountability for the things that go wrong in your life. You blame everyone else. That is, and there he is. There's the Hermit showing up. Harry, very alone, very misguided. That Hermit energy, that's how it's coming through for me. It just felt like it needed to show itself to me as the cars go flying all over the place. So we're going to have a look now at how Harry felt when that newspaper headline hit. Of course, the Daily Mail crowing like mad about this. And then the blame game, we're just going to ask a question about that, his inability to take any accountability for things, all the lawyer's fault. We're going to ask about things with the lawyer. How's it between the pair of them? Look at each of them in turn. We're going to ask about this alleged letter, that the begging letter, as Neil Sean calls it, that was sent late at night to, I assume, Kensington Palace. And we're going to ask what the tone of that letter was, and we're going to ask how that letter was received. I think Harry's in a big fat panic because his attempted reconciliation, his attempt at weaseling himself back into the royal family before it's too late, failing spectacularly, and we'll have a little look at that again in the next reading. Of course, Prince William's interview with Eugene Levy taking all the headlines and going down very well. I need to shuffle one more time, apparently, for some reason. A lot of energy in these cards. We need to do that. And then we're going to cut the deck, and I'm going to say that it's tarot for fun and entertainment. All my opinion, all speculation. Just read energy here, and disclaimer in the box below. Let's see what's going on. Harry, and as I say, it looked like a big panic when this hit so badly, this landed so badly, this stunt that was pulled by the lawyers to try and camouflage, is the word they're using, the fact that their claims are all way out of time. Six of Cups in reverse. That's the past. That's the people from your past, your old friends, your old family, your siblings. Those happy, innocent days, the good old days I always see when I get that card, and it's in reverse. Reaching back into the past to try and cover up his own lack of evidence by hooking onto his brother and his sister-in-law and the fact that they were treated much worse by the British tabloids back in the day. And Prince William, of course, as I said yesterday, Prince William was the one who actually rumbled the whole thing, the hacking story, and he was the one that got it all sorted out. Not Harry. But anyway, there is the past. The reconciliation energy, the Six of Cups as well, it's in reverse. Not happening when you go back, reach back into the past like this, and you abuse the people from the past for your own, I would say, in my opinion, nefarious purposes in court. Whether Harry was complicit or not, we don't know, but it's not a good look. And there it is. Heart of this reading. Oh, we've got Temperance. Wasn't me, it was the lawyer. He's trying to come across as a peacemaker. He's trying to come across as angelic. I did nothing wrong. It was everyone else's fault, not mine. That's what he's trying to pretend to be. But it's interesting. We're in a dark tarot, in the Shadowland tarot. That Temperance card doesn't exactly convince, does it, of angelic energy, harmonious energy, peacemaking energy? Not really. Not with that artwork, I would say. And so let's have a look at Harry and how he felt when he saw the headlines splashed all over the Daily Mail and everywhere else, because it was picked up and splashed all over everywhere else as well. Harry dragging William into his court case. It read terribly badly. He's been used to all this good press because he bought and paid for it. So how did he feel? Queen of Pentacles. You know who he felt bad about? He felt bad about dragging Catherine into it. And as I said yesterday, when I read on the actual evidence and what it might contain, it looked to me as if there was stuff in there that the press might have got a hold of about the breakup and embarrassing things, painful things for her. And Harry knows it. He knows it, in my opinion. Let's throw an allegedly on the fire here, on the bonfire. Queen of Pentacles is Catherine's energy, Capricorn woman. And she was the loyal supporter, his sister-in-law. She really looked after him. She really cared about him, nurtured him, was always there for him, always grounding energy, strong energy for him. And look what's happened. That's his first thought. And I think that's why the begging letter was sent to Kensington Palace. My personal opinion. Let's look at accountability. And it wasn't me, it was the lawyer. Just generally Harry and his attitude. A strange energy, because it's the Empress in reverse, and two things leap at me simultaneously with this Empress card. There are two Empresses in Harry's life, Mummy Diana and of course Mummy Diana too in Montecito. And I think that he got away with, let's call it murder, but metaphorically, of course, he got away with murder with Mummy Diana. And that theme has continued with Diana too, as she likes to present herself, at least to him, in Montecito. There's no accountability. She's not accountable for anything. It's everyone else's fault. And if they met anywhere, those two black hearts met and bonded, connected somehow, it's over that. The victim thing, they love to whinge, they love to complain, they love to blame everyone else. They bonded. Okay, we had a little moment, and when things went blank, so I'm going to have to stitch these things together, and I'm not sure what stopped recording and whatever. But that Empress card, just to repeat myself a little bit, it's Diana's energy and it's Meghan's energy. Harry was never taught by Diana to be responsible. She said, you do whatever you like as long as you don't get caught. I can't remember the exact wording of that, but that was his message as a child, and it's been repeated for him as an adult by his wife. So that's what's coming through there. Let's have a look at Harry and the lawyer. David Sherborne and how things are there. How's Harry feeling towards David Sherborne right now? Ooh, the Star in reverse. Yeah, this is a big crash down to earth, because the Star is hope and faith and showing you your true path. And way back when, way back when, Sherborne, of course, was the one that promised to lead Harry to some sort of salvation when he met allegedly at Elton John's home in the south of France. And now that star has fallen. Now Harry has lost faith in this guy completely. It's a big card. It's Major Arcana, the Star, and it's gone wrong spectacularly, these court cases. This one, you know, I'm sure it'll be settled, and I'm sure Harry will put his spin on it, and oh, look at me, and aren't I a hero, the Dragon Slayer, and all that nonsense. But really, Harry is feeling quite negative and quite despondent about what is going on now with this court case and with David Sherborne as a person and as an influence in his life and as someone who has led him, I would say, astray. And that Hermit card showed itself at the beginning of this reading. That's why I'm misguided, following the wrong advice, listening to the wrong influences. Let's look at the other side of the coin. David Sherborne, how's he feeling about his best paying client, I would say most lucrative client at this point? That's my personal opinion. I don't know this as fact. I'm speculating. But how is he feeling about Harry? Ooh, 10 of Pentacles, and it's 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The big payday that he expected with that 10 of Pentacles all those years ago when they met, allegedly, in the south of France, turned out to be not a big payday at all. In fact, it could even end up costing him, because the 10 of Pentacles in reverse is debt. Massive, massive debt. So they both, in their own ways, have reached a stage in this partnership where they are now ruining the day that they ever met. That is my opinion. Very expensive mistake for David Sherborne, and for Harry, who thought that he was going to be elevated and he was going to be a hero in his litigation. It turned out not to be at all. Let's move on to the letter, the alleged letter. Asking about it now. Was a letter written, a mad, panicky letter late at night to Kensington Palace, to William and Catherine? Was there such a thing? Ooh, I've got the card of regret, sorrow and regret. This was a bad moment for Harry. Really, now the energy comes through of regret. Which is the 5 of Cups, and trying to undo it, because the 5 of Cups is in reverse, trying to unscramble the mess, trying to fix it in his own inept, clumsy, lacking accountability way, in my opinion. But yes, desperate not to let the situation get even worse. What was the tone of the letter? And there he's shown up. I knew he was going to show up again. There's the Hermit. I want to come back in from the cold. I want to reconcile. 6 of Cups, our underlying energy, reconciliation card. I'm tired of being on my own. I'm tired of this all being so awful. I'm tired of being alienated from you. I'm getting a slight hint of sorry. Not sorry, not it's all my fault. I'm on my knees, I'm begging. Not that level, not at all. But just, if it's sorry, it's blaming. Because it's the accountability card, it's taking wrong advice, it's listening to the wrong people. Going off course because someone else told you to. That's very much in Hermit in reverse energy, because it's guidance and counseling, the Hermit energy. Inner guidance and inner counsel, when it's in its good energy of finding your own wisdom, following your own path. When it's not good energy, when it's negative energy, it's taking the wrong advice. So finger of blame pointed again. It wasn't me, it was them. They led me astray. I would never have done this to you, and particularly to my Queen of Pentacles, Catherine, over there. I wouldn't have intentionally set out to hurt you. So it's all everyone else's fault. How was this letter received by William and Catherine? If it was even received by them. Page of Wands in reverse. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. It's communication. It's infantile communication because it's pages. Very immature, very hot-headed, not thought through correctly, misguided, deluded. I don't want to know. I would imagine that neither of them would even read it. Because it's in reverse, it's blocked communication. It's viewed as bad news. It's viewed as immature, brattish kind of energy. Someone would have read the message. Someone would have said, you got a message. They would have said, throw it on the fire. Not interested. Not going to work. And we know it's not going to work because our underlying energy is not a card of reconciliation. It's a card of failing to reconcile. And here we have the attempt with the Temperance card to come across as angelic, the peacemaker, and it failing all the way through here. Bad upbringing, bad nurturing, bad parenting, bad marriage has exacerbated this tendency in Harry not to be accountable for anything. He and the lawyer really on the outs as far as I can tell. He does regret things. He does regret things, but he doesn't know how to go about fixing them. Page of Wands in reverse. And as a result, this late night begging letter, as Neil Sean has called it, didn't land at all, didn't hit the target. I don't think they even read it. That's my personal opinion. Hope I can stitch these two readings together into a coherent whole for you. I'll see you on the next one.